angst, anxiety. Whew. So I realized this morning that I may be a little too reliant on my books and tapes and audio CDs and podcasts because last night, in an attempt to clean up my iPhone a bit and try to get rid of excess junk on it that I didn't need, old videos and stuff like that, I somehow managed to clear out all of my audiobooks. Now, I will say this, Apple does a great job on hardware, but iTunes is a mess. And being in the software and marketing and technology business, I'd love to get my hands on cleaning up that program, but that's a whole other story. In regard to that, though, when I realized, I dropped my son off at school this morning, and I realized as I plugged in my iPhone, as I always do, put in my earpiece, and hit play on my headset, nothing happened. So I went into the iPhone interface, hit play on the iPod player, the little miniature iPod player, and nothing happened. So I was annoyed at this point. Could you feel it? A little annoyance there. I realized that, one of those strange things that happened in the book I'd been listening to, Buddhism for Busy People, by the way, great book. Check it out. Excellent stuff. I realized that, in fact, there were no books in my Audible book library. None. Not a one. Nothing. All of my music and books were gone. I don't listen to a lot of music on the phone, but all of my books were gone, and I would now have to drive all the way to the office without any books. And that caused me angst and anxiety. And it was disturbing, and I could feel it and sense it. And then I looked at it, and I laughed at it. Because how silly is it to get angst and anxiety because your mindfulness books are not available to listen to on the way to work? Well, how am I going to get through the day if I don't listen to my book in the morning? Wow, sounds like some addiction and some grasping and some holding on to an attachment. And maybe I'm a little too reliant on what did the Buddha say? That Buddhism and meditation and mindfulness are the boat to get you across the river. They're just tools. But once you get across the river, you got to let them go. I don't think I'm across the lake or the river yet, but I certainly seem to have a reliance on those things when, in fact, I could be meditating as I drive, or peacefully looking within, or looking at what I'm thinking. So I did. Looked at the angst, saw it, watched it, felt it, and then plugged this in to do a little self-mindfulness practice by observing myself via video. And I got to tell you, this is a phenomenal way to maintain presence. Because when you feel emotion arising, you can grasp it, see it, and watch it. And then talking about and observing it is very, very therapeutic, very helpful. It really helps with the whole presence and observation process. I'm going to keep doing this a lot.